During the last lecture, we did use a very important result related to subgroups, that if AB inverse belongs to H, then H will be a subgroup. We have used this result in our last lecture to prove a theorem, and in here A and comma B, these are the elements of this set subset H. If any subset H having these two elements and have this composition, then it is sufficient to say that this H is a subgroup. So this will be proved in this theorem, and the theorem states similar statement. If H is a subset of group G, and this subset H has two elements A and B, and their composition AB inverse also, this is in H. So H will be a subgroup, and this is necessary and sufficient condition. It means if H be a subgroup, then this condition will hold, and if we assume that this condition hold, then H will be also a subgroup. So first we will take the necessary condition, and in necessary condition we are assuming that H be a subgroup. It means if H be a subgroup, it will satisfy four properties. First will be closure, second will be identity, third will be inverse, and fourth will be associativity. To prove the necessary condition, we will use these two properties, closure properties and inverse properties. So if H be a subgroup, it means it cannot be empty, it will contain at least one element, identity. Identity will at least will be exist in this set H, subset H. Let us this subset H has two elements A and B. If because it is a subgroup, if A exists here, so its inverse will be available, because A belongs to H. So it is obvious that A inverse will also belongs to H, because it is a subgroup. If B belongs to H, then it is obvious that B inverse will belong to H. So we are taking only these two results. A belongs to H, we are writing it again, and if B belongs to H, then its inverse will also be belongs to H. This is the inverse axiom in a subgroup. Now we have stated that A and B inverse, these are two different elements, and this belongs to subset H. So their composition will also be available in H. It means A B inverse will be available in H. So this result is true, because this is a closure property. If two individual elements are belonging to a particular subgroup, then their closure, it means their composition will also be available in that subgroup. So A B inverse belongs to H. This is the necessary condition. If it means if H be a subgroup and it exists two elements A and B, then this result will be also satisfied. Now to prove the only if part, it means the sufficient condition, we will start from this condition and we will prove all the four properties. So look at next slide. So now we will take the result A comma B belongs to H. This is belong to H, and AB inverse belong to H. Now we wish to prove that the given subset H be a subgroup. So first we are writing here AB inverse belong to H. We are writing here AB inverse belong to H. For all A belongs to H and B belongs to H. This is the given condition. Now we are assuming it. As we are noting here, A and B both are the composition. The composition AB inverse is available in H, and A and B is also available in H. So this composition can be generated only if this B inverse is belong to H. So we can write here. Please try to understand that I am saying that A belong to H, B belong to H. These are two different elements which are belonging to H, and we are saying that AB inverse is belong to H. So please look at here. This B inverse is coming from where? It means the available of the inverse of this B is available in the set H. It means this subset H has the inverse of any arbitrary chosen variable, because here B is not a particular variable, it is an arbitrary variable. We can choose it arbitrarily randomly. So the inverse of any element is available in H. So here we can say that A belongs to H, that is B inverse is belong to H, and if AB inverse, now these are two distinct elements. Now we are considering only about A belongs to H and B inverse belong to H. By this result we are saying that if B inverse is available, then we can find this composition. So B inverse belongs to H. So we have write the existence of these two elements. Now it is given that their composition is also available. Now A is a particular element and B inverse is also a particular element. This is an element and this is an element. So and their composition is available. So what is this? This is the closure property. It means this is the composition of any two elements. So the composition of any two elements is available in G. It means this is satisfying closure property. It means this result of the given condition is also denoting to the closure property. And as I have discussed here, A, B inverse belong to H. A, B inverse belong to H. A belongs to H and B belong to H. A comma B belong to H, which is only possible if B inverse is available in H. Otherwise you cannot multiply A by B inverse. It means B is available and B inverse is available. And what is B inverse? B inverse is the inverse of H. It means inverse is satisfied, as we have discussed earlier. Now we will prove the identity axiom. As we have proved by inverse axiom that B inverse is available and in H for any element B. It means for all elements of subset H, their inverse are also available. And we have already proved that the closure property is satisfying. So the composition of B and B inverse will be possible. And what will be obtained by multiplying any element after with its inverse? Obviously we will get identity. So if B inverse and B, these are available in subset H, so their composition will be also available, as we have proved it in our first result, and this will gives an identity. So we are saying that the identity is also available in H. Now last is associative axiom. Let us suppose we are taking any three elements A, B and C from subset H, and we know that H is a subset of group G. So obvious, if we are assuming these three elements in subset H, then it will be obviously belong to G, and we know that every three elements of this set G, because G is a group, will satisfy the associativity. So it is natural that these three elements will satisfy associativity. So the associative axiom is also satisfied. So it is a very important useful theorem that if you know that AB inverse belong to H, then it is sufficient to say that H is a subgroup. Hence this is the conclusion of our theorem. Because H is satisfying all four properties, so we will say that if this condition is, this is the necessary and sufficient condition to say that H is a subgroup. Now there is one more theorem. A finite subset H of a group G is a subgroup if AB belong to H and AB belong to H. A comma B is belong to H. Now we are limiting our constraints here. There is two constraints. AB belong to H and A comma B belongs to H. It means we are taking only single property. It means closure property, and we will prove that this is a subgroup. In previous theorem, we are taking two conditions. AB inverse belongs to H. It means it was obvious that it is a closure property, and B inverse is also exists. But in this case, we are not assuming about inverse, and we will prove that it will also be a subgroup. So first we will start from necessary condition. In this case, we will assume that H be a subgroup. If it is a subgroup, so it cannot be empty. So at least identity will be exist in this subgroup. In this subgroup, let us suppose there is two elements of H. These are two arbitrary elements belonging to H, As H is a subgroup, so it will satisfy the four properties. First properties will be closure, second property will be associative, identity and inverse. So it will hold closure property. So it is given AB belongs to H. So by closure property we will say that the AB will be belongs to H. So our necessary condition is satisfied. Now conversely we will take this data. It means A comma B belongs to H and their closure is satisfied. So we will prove that this is a subgroup, and the sufficient condition will be proved in our next lecture. Thank you.